What is Kundalini energy? Kundalini energy, if I'm even pronouncing it right, Kundalini energy is energy that is said to lie dormant in every single human being until they're ready for this sort of a spiritual awakening that takes to take place in their life. This awakening can happen whether you're ready or you aren't ready to embark on a spiritual path. It depends on the person or event that's taking place in your life, and sometimes it doesn't even matter. The universe just wants you to just like go through this spiritual awakening. But basically, what happens is this energy, when it's ready to awaken, it awakens from your base chakra all the way through all of your chakras, which you have 7 main chakras, which are the base chakra, sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, third eye, and the crown chakra. And what happens is the energy rises through all the chakras and awakens all of them. And what happens when it reaches your crown chakra is that it supposedly awakens you to this spiritual enlightenment. It kind of shakes up your reality and makes you question everything in your life that you've been conditioned to think. And that can be the real frightening part is when this energy awakens, it's literally shaking up all your belief systems that you had in place since you were like freaking 2 years old. Which Kundalini isn't really dangerous. It's just the fact that if you're not prepared to drop all your beliefs and you're holding on to all these like wanting things to be one way and not letting your mind expand to this new reality, yeah, it's going to be frightening and even like be, oh, it's this dangerous thing. But it's not really dangerous. It's just a matter of how you view it. And but today I wanted to talk to you guys about how my Kundalini story happened and how my spiritual awakening took place and what kind of resulted in my energy, awakening through all my chakras. So basically, what happened is, I think it was a year ago, I was in a very bad place in my life where I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure like where I wanted my life to lead or go. I was giving up on everything. I was in a very abusive and bad relationship. Very dependable on my family members. This was back when I used to smoke weed all the time and stuff. And what happened is one day I was just so sad and I was smoking, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I feel like meditating. Because at the time, without me knowing about it or not, I was kind of prepping myself for this spiritual awakening because I was starting to get into meditating and yoga and all these kind of things. But it didn't like hit me until later that, oh, I was kind of prepping myself for this awakening to take place anyways. But at the time I was very high and I freaking was like, I got this bright idea to just meditate because I guess I was just like, you know what, I just feel like meditating. So I was like cloud 9 meditating. Then all of a sudden I had this like bolts of energy come through my spine. And I know it sounds crazy if you're not used to feeling energy on a deep level, but if you know what an empath is, which I'll touch on all of these things in more videos, but if you know what an empath is, you can sense things to the deepest level with energy. But what happened was this energy bolted through my spine, and I could feel it. It felt like a lightning bolt up my spine, and it lasted for quite a bit of time. But when it happened when I was meditating, I just leaped off the bed that I was meditating on, and I was kind of freaked out, like, I know I'm not losing my mind, or I might be super high. But then at the time, it was just like, it was so weird. I'm like, I know I'm feeling this energy. So like after a while, I calmed down, I started sobering up, and then after a few days, it kind of like, I just lost touch of that moment. But after that whole week, strange stuff started happening to the point where I was like, okay, something shifted in me and I realized I was not going to be the same anymore. Like, I started having just like, I don't know if you guys heard of people just having this experiences like sensing more energy better, like getting more in tune with your intuition, seeing entities or like just like telepathy, just stuff like that. Like stuff was popping up, research and information was popping up to me all the time now about spiritual realms, and like making me kind of like believe and question things that I had no idea like anything about. Like at first I had no clue or that the spiritual realm could exist. But then stuff kept coming up to me that kind of reassured me that, okay, we're not in this universe alone type stuff. So stuff like that was kind of like popping up a lot, like making me question my reality. Even the fact that before this awakening happened, I didn't realize how unaware I was of not questioning things that were just told to me or given to me, but I found myself questioning everything. And then after a while, I was just like, man, after a few months or so, I was like, man, and I started getting to spiritual reading, scriptures, and all that stuff and information. I was just researching like crazy. This was the first time I was even into like self-learning. And I remember I had this epiphany like, man, everything we've been taught is a freaking lie. And then one day I was also like, I think what further progressed this energy was just like, you know, I'm done with suffering. I'm not going to be at this place anymore. So I just started that whole year of spiritual awakening, like 2015. I did more in my entire life to progress myself than I ever have, because that energy kind of just made me wake up and realize, like, man, this is crazy. What am I doing type stuff. And, like, just making me view life completely different, like, making me understand that I'm the creator of my own reality and stuff like that. But it's not an easy path at all when you suddenly realize you're going through a spiritual awakening or Kundalini awakening. It's something that if you don't do your research, you're going to be freaked out, basically. But if you start researching and understanding, meeting similar people, which the universe always brings, you know, people who are going through similar things to you. Once you realize that, okay, this is more normal than we think it happens, because people want to act like awakenings are so like taboo, but it happens all the time. It's just a matter of it's new to you, so you might think it's like so absurd or something, or you might be going insane. But once you get this, realize that, you know, spiritual awakening is just something, it's opening you to this whole new consciousness and awareness and making you just question life, which is the most beautiful thing in the world. It's not an easy path. It's just realizing that basically you're learning everything you're relearning. You're learning to be authentic, basically, from compared to what school and society teaches you to be, like this robot. It's like you're learning about the Matrix and how to get out of that shit. So basically, that's how my spiritual awakening took place. And I mean, I would love to hear what you guys think about it. And if you had a spiritual awakening, let me know about it. But yeah, that's a little about Kundalini and what it is, a little based on my knowledge and what I went through. But I'm really blessed that it happened. It's not an easy path, but it made my life 10 times better than what it was, and I know it can only get 1,000 times better. But yeah, let me know what you think, and like, subscribe, leave a comment of what you want my next videos to be about, and I'll get back to you. Thank you.